Greetings. I need to adjust my microphone a little bit because yeah. Ow! No, that's a bit much. Ow! Ow! Wow! Bow! 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 Okay, that might be alright.
Pretty boy.
Pretty boy is here. Hello, hello, Scarlet. Yes. The final part of the GFL 2 event came out. The part 3, because this event's been very weird. But we're gonna go through it. I think it's gonna just be a chill time, but I might as well complete the event because I streamed the first 2 parts. Seems like a natural progression of affairs. I've already done all my other business for the day on this game. Because I think watching Gunsmoke would be very boring. But yes, it's been a slow day today. But slow days aren't necessarily bad. This is Jiangyu, by the way. Kung Fu lady. I like her a lot. Because Kung Fu ladies are, I wouldn't say they're like a primary preference on mine, but I definitely have a thing for them. It's become clear to me between, like, Ji-chun and Limbus Company and Theater in, Arknights. I swear there's also someone like that in, ZZZ. Anyway, hope you're doing well tonight. I'm just gonna go straight into the affairs here. Could do an artifact recovery run, but we'll see how I feel after this. I also just finished my dinner. Just some chimpkin. I decided a new type of marinade today. That's basically like... oh, what's it called? There's like a type of... there's like a style of chicken. It's Italian. Provencal? It's not Italian, it's French. My bad. I cook. I know my cuisines. Provencal or no, it's Provincial. Chicken Provincial. Basically, I just made a Provençal style dressing with some olive oil, a little bit of white wine, lemons and tomatoes, and some herbs, obviously, because I like my herbs. It was alright. I would rank... it wasn't like a true provincial. Like, true to the, like, French cuisine, I suppose. But it was, like, provincial inspired. It was decent. I'd rank it like a B tier for, like, chicken marinades. But, like, it wasn't anything to knock my socks off. I'm on, like, a culinary journey at the moment to find the perfect, like, chicken marinade. That's a lot of electric terrain on the field. It's almost like they want us to use electric units. Huh, funny that. Anyway, I could just auto this. We're not really here for the battles. Oh, I completely set mine out, but thank you, Scarlet, for, thank you for the resub for 2 months. For a total of 31. That's crazy. That's like almost 3 years. It's like almost 3 years that we've like known each other. It's crazy. I must be like... I forget how long like I've been on here for. It's kind of frightening sometimes. I mean, to be fair, this year's just kind of flown past me. Is there no story to it? Okay, no, that was just a stage. This is the story. Okay. Incoming signal. So, the first two parts were Belka and Andorus. Those were just, like, audio log cleanups? No, not audio log cleanups. But, like, that was, like, record keeping for them. We were delving into their pasts and, like, looking at stuff. I don't know what this is. I think this is, like, new story territory, because I'm pretty sure this was, like, a very recent addition to even the CN server. The years have gone by so quickly. They really have. Obviously, there was a time where I was more active as NX. And, like, you know, doing the weekly streams, good times, alright? Back when, you know, I played Lobomi Corporation, Library of Ruiner, and various other games. Not that it's going to come to an end anytime soon, but there's going to be a bit of an upheaval at some point, where I'm going to not necessarily change direction, but maybe kind of just revitalize things a bit with a fresh coat of paint. Which is why now, like, right now I'm just doing intermittent streams for, like, gacha game stuff that, you know, I feel like... Ugh, excuse me. It's like... This kind of stuff just... It feels like a normal to me. Like, this feels like a routine. To, like, come back to my gacha games every now and again to show you the story stuff. That's like a... I wouldn't say a tradition. That's a bit of a strong term for it. But it's like a nice routine. Like, it keeps these channels somewhat active, even though, you know, not many people drop in, like, but I always see you here, Scarlet, which is, I very much appreciate that. Makes these streams a little less lonely, but I would still do them even if no one was there, because this just feels right. Yeah, exactly. It's good to keep the momentum. And it's good to, like, not forget as well, like, how to set everything up and how to, like, get into the mindset that I'm going to be broadcasting myself. So that when I do return to it, it's not just an alien experience where I'm going to experience, like, a bunch of technical difficulties and anxiety, and it's all going to... For sure, when I do, like, when I have the potential to do a big event in the future where I re-energize the brand... Sure, there's going to be anxiety surrounding that, but I don't want anxiety to be like, I'm out of form, I'm out of focus. I haven't done this in ages. So these gachas are a good excuse for that. Plus, you know, I find I talk to myself a lot when I play these games, and sometimes I don't, but I think that's fine. Plus, you know, some people might find this useful. Like, my gacha videos where I just go through story stuff, they actually get, like, a decent amount of views on the YouTube, which is, interesting, to say the least. Especially my Limbus ones, so someone is getting use out of that, and that is really, like... It's not the sole thing that drives me, but it helps. Like, that's a little bit on top, that's just like, yeah, I mean, someone's gonna watch it, they'll have a good time with it, maybe. It's a very good skill to have. And that you used to, like, and, like, people used to just call you crazy back in the day, you know, for talking to yourself all the time. I've talked to myself my entire life, so, like, this should be natural to me. I'm usually lurking while I'm at work. Well, it's good work background noise, isn't it? That's, like, the exact, like, kind of thing I want to settle into for people. It's like, I want to be, like, that's the kind of thing you just put on in the background. Because, like, lately, I've been doing a lot of, like, personal work for myself. Like, various little personal projects. And whenever I'm doing that, I get in the zone, I'm like, I like some background noise. And the thing about music, right? The thing about music is that it puts me in a specific mood for something. And sometimes I don't want to listen to music because I feel like it's going to guide my inspiration too much. Like, for instance, let's say I'm prepping a D&D campaign, and it's like, let me use an actual example. I'm preparing like a space like military campaign right now on like it's not based off D&D, it's based off a different thing called Stars Without Number, which is another tabletop. It's a very cool one, the Without Number series. But sometimes like I'll listen to like soundtracks, like I'll listen to like Mech Warrior and Halo and Mass Effect soundtracks because, you know, it's a space game, it's a sci-fi game. But then like I'll listen to like a certain soundtrack and I'll be like, oh, I attribute this soundtrack to this type of mental imagery because I recall an experience I had with this soundtrack. And then I'll be like, ooh, maybe I want to do something like that in the campaign when I should be focusing on something else. I'll be like, nope. I gotta get this stuff done first. I gotta get the groundwork done before I focus on the juicy bits. Music distracts me a lot from work if it's not related. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's some types of music, like lo-fi beats and stuff, that you can put on because it's kind of like just... It's very neutral, like, you don't really attribute it to anything, and it's, like, chill vibes. But, like, I somehow feel like I concentrate better when there's people talking, like, in the background, you know? So oftentimes I'll put a podcast on, or I'll put a Let's Play on, like, just a standard Let's Play. Like, Northern Lion, who is one of my favorite streamers ever, probably my favorite, actually, since I've watched him, like, for well over a decade now. He's, like, the perfect case of, like, a streamer you can just slap on in the background. Like, obviously, like, I do, like, tune into his content sometimes, but, like, he's got a great voice for background noise. And I mean that in the most complimentary way I can. Because, like, not everyone has that, because some people, like, you know, scream a lot and have, like, really grating voices. And that's not their fault, but that's just how I find them personally. I'm not gonna put any names out there because, quite frankly, I can't think of any. But they do exist. But yeah, I always appreciate it when, like, someone has made content, like, long-form content, I'm talking, like, an hour plus of content, that you can just slap on in the background. And it helps me focus. Because it makes me feel like... I don't know. It makes me feel like... I don't know why, but I feel like I work better when I don't feel like I'm completely isolated. And... I guess it comes from, like, working in a communal environment. And just having someone there is really good. Like, sometimes I'll sit in a Discord call with my friends and just work on stuff while they're just doing whatever. As weird as that. I don't know if it's weird to just sit silently in Discord calls with your friends, but I find it, I mean, a lot of the time I find it cozy. I really like it. I think friends should have, like, calls like that more often, where they just, like, sit around in mutual silence and just focus on things. Maybe with, like, the odd comment here and there, but, like, maybe, like, put a music bot on in the background. It's just knowing that there's people there, like, helps. I think you have a perfect streaming voice. Why, thank you. I mean... I've always kind of been at odds with my voice. I've never really thought that... I mean, we're our own worst critics, right? That's always a thing. And there's the big thing of, like, people hate their own voice. That's definitely a case. I wouldn't say I hate my own voice, but I don't really see the marketability of my voice, if that makes sense. Like, to me, I just sound like some dude. And then I know that, like, it's a bit less of that, because I've had, like, you included, I've had people tell me that you have a good voice, like, you have a bassy voice, you can do things, like, well, of course you can do things, but, like, there's a certain cadence to your voice that people will enjoy, and I'm like, I understand that, but it's kind of hard to believe it sometimes as well. Even though, like, you know, it's probably true. But I think, like, I hear my voice differently to other people. Because... So, there was one point in time that I really wanted to get into voice acting. But I found that, I mean, obviously I didn't go through any training, so I don't know if there's actual, like, techniques that can help me or stuff, but I didn't feel confident enough to take it further to, like, actually get proper training and stuff. Because no matter what voice I put on for, like, I have, like, experience, like, putting on voices for D&D, for example, and, like, various other things. And I used to be a drama student, so, like, you know, I have some acting chops as well. I've always felt like no matter what kind of voice I put on, there's this tone, like, at the back, like, there's just this, like, tone that matches it to my voice, where I can just, like, I can listen back to it and I'll just be like, it just sounds like me. No matter what voice I put on, it just sounds like me because of that, like, certain, like, familiar tone in it. And I don't know if other people hear that, but I hear that, and it annoys the ever-living hell out of me. Because I'll, like, record a line for something, like, silly, and I'll be like, oh, I've got a good idea for a voice for, like, a campaign, so I'm gonna record it and see how it sounds, and I play it back and I was like, this sounds awful. That just sounds like me, but lamer. And then those sound clips never see the light of day. I did voice acting for fun before, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, right? Like, I think there's this... I think there comes a certain point where you just have to, like, deal with it, so to speak. I think there comes a point where you have to start appreciating how your voice sounds, and also accept that you're always going to hear that bit of it, like, inside, like, the recordings. But then other people won't, and then they'll actually hear, like, what you sound like. I don't know, perception bias is weird. Yeah. One day, though. I mean, I'm sure... I mean, I haven't really run many D&D campaigns lately because of various things, but I want to get back on track with doing them and maybe doing more voice stuff. I'm not a voice actor, but I would love to, like, cameo in something as a voice, you know? Like, that would be sick. Did you know, like, I almost starred as an extra in, Gladiator 2. Because, I mean, I don't really know if it's a spoiler for the movie. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but there's a scene in the movie that takes place in a Colosseum. Like, of course, it's freaking Gladiator. Of course there's a scene with a Colosseum in it. But, like, because we had a bunch of crew that needed to be on set for, like, scenes in the Colosseum, but it was kind of, like, difficult to always, like, have them come on and come off the set. They dressed them all up in, like, togas and stuff, so, like, when they're not doing their thing, they can just stand in the crowd and look like, you know, part of the audience for the Colosseum. I was almost in that role, because I was meant to be on set that day, but I got pulled off to do another job, like, elsewhere. Like, far away from the set. Like, I wasn't there. I was, like, completely somewhere else. So, that was a shame, but, like, you know, it would have been cool. I probably wouldn't have even been on camera, because, you know, it was, like, a just-in-case kind of thing, but... But I feel like I wouldn't have been comfortable wearing a toga either. Like, those things are a bit too breezy for my liking. It's already amazing they get to work on a movie like that. Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course it is. It just, it just doesn't feel as special to me. Like, I mean, I've spoken about this before on the channel, I think, but I work in film. Like, I've worked in film for, like, well over 10 years now, probably, like, bordering on, like, 11 or 12 years now. Or more than that, even. But even before that, I've been around the industry, like, all my life. Like, since a very young age, this industry has been, like, adjacent to my lifestyle. So it doesn't feel that special to me. Like, Gladiator 2, like, I recognize that, like, that was, like, an epic movie. That's, like, a grand-scale movie, like, you know, it's a sequel to one of the biggest, like, movies of, like, the turn of the century. And, like, to me, it kind of just felt like another job. It was a very good one, I'll tell you that. Like, that was a great job to work on. For me, personally. Like, even though I spent a lot of time for that abroad, like, in Malta, which, you know, Malta has its ups and downs, but I feel like that was probably one of the better productions I was part of. So I'm happy to have done it. But, like, that's the thing, like, to me, it was just, yeah, no, that was a pretty good contract. I'm not like, yeah, I worked on Gladiator 2, I'm hot shit. Like, I don't feel like hot shit for working on it, like, because I definitely suffered through a lot of stuff, but, like, I don't feel like hot shit for working on a lot of things. Like, I didn't feel like one of the other good productions I worked on was Star Wars Rogue One. And people are always surprised to hear that I worked on that film. And I was like, yeah, I was pretty involved with, like, the stunt work on that. And it was a blast. It was a very long job, because it was a Star Wars movie. Those are always, like, big projects, but I have a lot of very memorable experiences from working on that. So that's definitely one of my better ones. But again, it's like, I don't really talk about it unless people ask. You know, I'm not going around bragging about it because I don't feel like I should brag about it. It's like, it's work to me. Like, what should I brag about? That I have a job? In this climate, like, you can't, like, bragging that you have a job is just kind of BM, isn't it? Because so many people struggle to get jobs in the current atmosphere, and that sucks. I mean, I'm struggling right now because I haven't worked for, like, over half a year, just because the job climate for me right now is really bad. But we make do somehow. For real, yeah. Well, I was hoping 2026 is better, because as much as I've liked the extended time off, it comes to a point where I don't really want to be sat around doing nothing all day. I feel stuck in my job because of the poor job market. Yeah. I think that's, like, the worst reason to be stuck with a job, because sometimes I feel stuck in my work when I am working. Like, I feel stuck in this profession because there's a lot of downsides to it. Like, I work, like, insane hours without vacation because per stipulation of the contracts I sign, you're not meant to have vacation time. Like, usually I can request, like, a few days off here and there, but technically, like, they're paying you a bonus to not take any holiday. So usually I just work straight through the contract no matter how long it is. But, you know, the hours are, like, the hours get to be a lot, and then I lose out on so much free time because of it. Like, you just can't plan for anything because you're working, like, every week. And various other things, like, having to travel all the time is annoying as well. Like, I'm not nomadic by any stretch, so traveling all the time is a real pain in the ass. But I feel stuck in it because it pays very well. That's the thing. Like, it pays very well, and typically there's always going to be a contract for me that comes up, you know. It's just right now I'm in a bit of a situation where, like, there's not much work going around. I could go into another job, but I know that the moment I go into another job, or if I can find one, that is, if I can find another job, some like contract is gonna come up. They'll be like, "Can you come back?" And I'll be like, "Well, I'm gonna have to leave this job that I just got into to go back onto the contract work because why would I not? It pays so much better." That's the problem I have right now. Because, like, I can't deviate to other work because, one, I don't know if the other jobs even exist considering the current job climate. And two, whatever I try to go into, it will be less money than I earn for that job. Even though I don't particularly enjoy the work that I do, there's not really an alternative that I'm really craving to go for, you know, because I just don't have that passion for... I don't have passion for anything, no. I mean, I think the closest thing I have to, like, having some kind of passion is probably streaming, since, you know, I'm doing it right now, but it's a bit, streaming's a bit of an odd one, since it's, like, it's something I do want to do, but it's not necessarily something I can do, if that makes sense. Let me put it like this. My current job, basically, well, I don't work right now, but like, when I do have my job, my spare time is so little that I'd be basically spending a good chunk of it doing streamer stuff if I was trying to go for both of them at the same time. Obviously, now that I have time off, I could be doing more streamer stuff, but I've been planning this, like, big, like, change to everything for, like, the last year now. But it's run into so many complications here and there that it's kind of just killed, like, the momentum a bit. It's still gonna happen at some point, but... the original projection for things I had at the start of this year, I was gonna be done, like, I was gonna have, like, everything done and, you know, initialized by August. And obviously, August is behind us by a month. And I'm still very much behind on everything, so... but that's just how things go sometimes. Ideally, I'll be able to do something before the end of the year, but I'm not quite sure what the scope of it looks like right now. But yeah, I mean, I'll talk about it another time. I mean, since you're the only one here, Scarlet, well, that's chatting. I might just hit you up at some point and tell you about some of the stuff I've got in store. Since I consider you as a close confidant. And also just in case I need any, like, assets and stuff, but yeah, let's actually do the event now. I've been rambling for about half an hour now. That's crazy. I should really just do talk streams. I can just talk. I better get back to work. Cool. Yeah, definitely. Don't actually make me keep you from work that needs to be done. All right, but happy lurking. Appreciate it as always. Anyway, let's get on with the event. You could absolutely be in the just chatting section. Like I said, when I get things off the ground again, I will probably just start doing just chatting streams, since I do just enjoy rambling. I think lots of people enjoy a good ramble, don't they? And yes, like I said before, this event story, I don't know if it's just going to be a repeat like the previous two, which were like going into the past of two characters. I think this might be actual relevant story stuff, but we'll see as we go on. My Elmo has medics. Don't you mean medic? We have one. And it's a Brazilian shorty. Colfney. Oh, I see. Okay, so this seems to be another side story for something. I'm gonna presume, like, we're still just yeah, obviously we're traveling in the Elmo. This is probably gonna be, like, another side mission. Because we're responding to a distress signal. Okay. Oh. Interesting. We know what a settlement is. Don't need to explain that. Ah, okay. They wanted a performance from Monsoon, I suppose. Monsoon being the collective of dolls that was like a traveling performance troupe. And Jiangyu was one of them. Is one of them, should I say. They're still a thing. They're just part of the Elmo as well. The Elmo and the Collapse Storm. I see where we're going with this, okay. She's so cute. Surime, my weakness. What is Surime? Oh, Surime eyes. I see. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I get it. Eyes. After reading what it means, I know exactly what you mean now. Like, yeah, I didn't actually know there was a term for it. I just thought, like, it was just a style of eyes. Because I know about, well, I didn't know it by name. I didn't know, Tarame eyes, which is like the, you know, the moe eyes, so to speak. I didn't know there was those terms for them, but I know them by appearance. And yes, I know what you mean. They are a weakness. There's like a certain type of eyes that I like. I like styles that make the eyes look like they're heavy on like the ink, so to speak. I'm trying to like figure out a good example for this. Because there's like certain artists that like make their eyes like really pop out. Not pop out, but I mean like makes them look really sharp, and I really like those styles. But also like I really like I really like bags under the eyes, you know. Like I like it when they look tired or like weathered, so to speak. I know that's a point of contention for people personally a lot of the time, but I find it to be an attractive trait. Is that weird? That might be weird. I mean, it's like... But I think eyes are like... tired women are relatable. Hell yeah. I mean, I can relate to at least half of that. A lot of the time. But yeah, like, I think eyes are like such a I mean, they are a focal point of a character design. I think that's such an important component of it, especially like anime style designs. It's why, like, as much as people bash on like Genshin and Honkai stuff for like looking kind of samey, I really enjoy how they design the eyes for their characters, because those are always unique. Like, I really love how they do some of the eyes, just because they're very, like you said, a gateway into the soul. They're very expressive, a lot of them. Like from Star Rail, Sparkle is one of my favorite characters from Star Rail, and she has really nice eyes. I feel like that's one of the few things they can make unique for every character. Like, obviously, like, every character is unique to an extent, but, like, they have certain limitations, like their animation rigging and stuff. Like, Star Rail in particular has, like, shared skeletons. You can just tell, like, there's, like, a base body type, and then you kind of just, like, distribute that between the cast. Me loving Hu Tao and Sparkle. Hu Tao's pretty good, too. I do like some Hu Tao in my life. I can't remember who my favorite Genshin character was. Mostly because I dropped off of Genshin, like, really, like, early. I think I said it before, like, I dropped off in Inazuma. So there's not a lot of Genshin characters that I'm really familiar with beyond, like, Inazuma. Hu Tao and Furina. I know about Furina. I've seen a lot of stuff about her around. I need to, like, refresh myself on Genshin characters. I'm definitely more familiar with Star Rail, because I played that way more. I remember I liked Klee a lot, because Klee is adorable. In fact, I'm pretty sure Klee was, like, the last character I rolled in Genshin before I quit. Yeah, a lot of these characters are just like... Oh, Yanfei. I liked Yanfei a lot. Yeah, I think Yanfei was one of my more favorite characters. Out of the, like, the designs that have come out since I've not played the game, Varesa's definitely up there. I really like Varesa. Yeah, there are so many. It's crazy. Half of them I can't even pronounce. They have so many characters whose name begins with X. It's, like, insane. But yes, Star Rail definitely has a lot more characters that I enjoy. Like, Trailblazer's great, March is great. I actually like Welk a lot as well. Shit. What's the fucking face? Welt. Sorry. I played Monster Hunter recently. I was thinking I had Welk on the mind. Silver Wolf. I really like Silver Wolf. Hoyoverse realized to put so many Greebles in the outfits. Yeah, I see that. I think it's because, like, they kind of like going ham with the designs, like, within the restrictions and stuff. But, like, I know what you mean. It's just kind of like, sometimes less is more, but they don't really follow that, like, they don't really follow that design philosophy. Yeah, like, the color palettes for the characters are, like, most of the time, like, really recognizable. And the silhouettes, especially, like, they're really good at making silhouettes. Boot Hill, that was it. I was gonna say Boot Hill. Boot Hill's great. I love Boot Hill. Frickin' cyborg cowboy. But obviously, my queens are Sparkle and Herta. And Xing Shui, actually. I like Xing Shui. I like the Mahjong Gremlin. See, that was, like... Genshin, I had trouble, like, listing off characters that I enjoyed. Star Rail, I have a whole bunch. Because I found Star Rail's characters just much more, like, you know, inviting. Yeah, exactly. There's some characters that I definitely don't like, as in, like, I just don't care for them. There's definitely a few of those, like Sunday. I just don't care for I don't care for Sunday or his sister, Robin. And I know that, like, some people might find that contentious, because, obviously, they had a big part Penacony focused on them. But, I don't know, like, I appreciate the stories that were told with them and around them, but I just couldn't develop a sense of caring for those characters at the end of the day. I think that's just a personal, like, peeve, though. It's a crime what they did with Hu Tao. They locked a character event behind a limited time event. Okay, yeah, so that kind of stuff is really annoying when gacha games have a limited time event that has story content, like, arguably, like, important stuff, and they don't really give you any space to replay it. I don't know how it is in Genshin, but, like, at least Star Rail, I believe you can replay any of, like, there's nothing limited time. Yeah, exactly. There's no limited time events in Star Rail. Except, I think, the Fate crossover, but that's because that's a collaboration. If you have a collaboration with another IP, generally that event's going to be limited time because of licensing. Yeah. You can experience the story at any time, and I think all gacha games should strive for that. GFL 2 has that problem as well, where there's a lot of events that have happened with story-relevant stuff, and you can't replay them at the moment. For some reason, they are gradually adding them in as permanent content you can experience. I guess it's better than never doing it, but it's still a bit odd that they just don't do it. I really gotta get top of that Fate collab. To be fair, I don't... No, I did do it. What am I on about? I definitely did... Did I do it? No, I must have done it. Because I remember... I know the whole story for that collab event. But I don't think I watched someone do it, so I must have played it by myself. See, I remember the event, but I don't even remember my experience with it, because, you know, like, I don't really play Star Rail that much anymore, because the story got meh for me. That's just typically of Hoyo games, though. I'm not as invested in them as I am, like, GFL and Limbus. Mostly because, I think it's because, like, I literally said this last stream. I literally spoke about this exact topic last stream, so I'm not going to repeat myself. It is what it is. Speaking of stuff that I am excited for, Ananta. Ananta looks like a good game. And I know there's going to be naysayers that are going to say that it's going to be microtransaction hell, or it's NetEase, they're gonna fuck it up in some way. I want to believe, alright? I've seen the gameplay footage. I've seen the test build that people got their hands on. and had fun with, it looks really freaking cool. It looks so cool. Just having an anime GTA style, like, game where, like, you can just kind of do stuff. They seem to have, like, an emphasis that you can just go around doing stuff. Now, obviously, I'm kind of worried that, like, that's all the novelty there is, and, like, you know, once you've gone around and done stuff, then there's not really anything else to do. I wonder how big the world actually is. They actually confirmed how big it is. It's about the size... They said it's a Manhattan-sized map, but they have the entire map, like... Someone, like, showed the size of the whole map. It's not like GTA 5 big. It's not that big. But there were people saying that, like, it's the size of Manhattan. Like, relatively speaking. Which, you know, that's quite sizable. Like, that's a pretty, like, sizable city to explore. And I'm sure there'll be other areas as well if they, like, focus on, like, creating new stuff for it in the future. Like, new areas to explore. Like, I would say, like, Night City from Cyberpunk is still probably bigger. But I don't think it needs to be, like, super, super massive. I don't think it needs to be, like, frickin' New York size, like, the entirety of New York. But yeah, like, just the little, details, like, the emergent gameplay and the diegetic, like, little details here and there. That's the stuff I like. I like games where you can just kind of faff around and, like, do a bunch of, like, things. Like GTA Online without the exploitative fees. I like that they made it not a gacha game as well. Like, you can just unlock the characters by playing the game. And the cosmetics are going to be, like, the main, like, revenue thing, which I'm perfectly fine with. That's how a lot of other games do it nowadays. It's, Warframe is a big one that does this. A lot of Warframe things that you pay for are either, like, time skips, because a lot of stuff is time-gated in Warframe, or cosmetic things. But, I definitely think that that's two, like, big games coming out that have switched from gacha mode now to, like, something a bit different. I hope that more companies will look at that and follow that example. But, you know, the gacha formula that, like... I don't really know where it originated from. Well, I mean, there's no real, like, point of origin. But I would say Genshin is probably the biggest game that kind of, like, blew up the whole gacha thing. Like, the whole thing of rolling for characters and equipment. Like, it really blew it up and, like, spread that type of idea across lots more, like, ground than before. I think that seeing more games veer away from that formula would be a good thing, but I don't think they're ever gonna, like, phase out, like, completely. Because it's such a big moneymaker. Like, Genshin has proven that it's such a big moneymaker that it can literally do it with, like, all of its games and still, like, turn up massive profits. I was about to say, asking Jiangyu to write a script is crazy. Hoyoverse has grown so much as a company. Yeah, right. Like, I remember when back when they were just called MiHoYo Soft, I think, or just MiHoYo. They were mostly known for Honkai, the Honkai series, like Honkai Third Impact and stuff. And, you know, they were releasing this new game that was like Breath of the Wild inspired, called Genshin Impact. And, you know, I remember playing it back then. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. This could be, like, the next big thing. Little did I know I would be absolutely correct in that assumption. Not just correct, it was an understatement. Genshin is massive. Genshin is huge now. I don't think people, like, fully understand sometimes how big Genshin got. Like, Genshin is known throughout so many, like, parts of the world now. Like, I didn't realize how big it was until Genshin became, like, the primary sponsor for Comic-Con over here, or just Comic-Con in general. Like, Comic-Con, one of the biggest, like, Western conventions for, like, not just, like, anime culture, but, like, video game and comic culture in general. Genshin became the sponsor for that. It was on all the fucking passes and stuff. It was crazy. Makes me wonder if their newer games will have this. I think they will. I think Hoyoverse has a tried and true formula for this kind of thing. Like, they've done it with Star Rail, they've done it with ZZZ, they'll probably do it with whatever that creature collecting game is. They've got, like, the Pokemon, like, Honkai style game coming out at some point. You know, the creature collector. That's probably going to have a similar system. But, you know, maybe they'll find a small bit of their, like, pocket change to be like, let's try something new, and they'll make, like, an actually good, like, single-player experience. They also have their own Animal Crossing. Yeah, they do. I mean, Animal Crossing is fun. I like Animal Crossing. That reminds me, we got Pal Farm as well. Like, the Pal World farming sim. I'm very much looking forward to that as well. I also found it really funny, because they announced Pal Farm, like, really not long after Nintendo announced the Pokemon farming sim, and I've just, like, I was very entertained by that. I was like, they are messing with them right now. Pulling for residents in Hoyo Crossing. Is that actually a thing, or are you doing a bit? But I will tell you that much. I'll tell you right now, if that is the case where they make, you know, Hoyo Crossing game and you have to do a gacha for residents, that's gonna make them so much freaking money. People are just gonna roll for the waifu, and that will make them so much money just off of that. It's a tried and true formula. It works. Diane, hello. I hate that it works, but it works. People are so vulnerable to gacha. Yeah, it's gambling at the end of the day. I mean, I can't talk. I am also vulnerable. Like, look at me. I'm a... I mean, GFL is a great example of that. I have a lot of maxed out stuff in GFL. Like, I always, like... I max out characters on these banners, and it's very hard to max the characters out on these banners without, you know, pulling your wallet out. Because I really enjoy this... I really enjoy this game setting and, like, the company behind it. Well, okay, enjoying the company behind it is a bit of a stretch, but I just enjoy the IP. And Limbus as well, like, you don't need to wail on Limbus, but I do to an extent, because one... like, I like getting, like, bonus things in Limbus, but two, like, especially in Limbus's case, it supports the developers. Limbus is the only gacha where I spend money on it to support the developers, because they are basically, like, an independent studio, and they need all the help they can get. Bless them. But, Sunborn / Micah behind GFL, they're a way bigger company with, like, multiple, like, streams of avenue. They don't need my money. I'm just giving them money because I enjoy this series. And, you know, like, I've spent money on a bunch of gacha games. I'm definitely one of the people that's vulnerable to it. Not as much as some people. Like, I don't go absolutely crazy on it like certain people I know. But I do it enough that I can be considered, like, on the lower spectrum of whales. Like, I did it to Uma, like... Like, I maxed out the Kita-san Black in Uma, and, like, I've rolled, like, a bunch of the horses so far. And I like Uma. Uma's fun. But I'm also someone that doesn't really spend much on, like, other things, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of people that will spend stuff on, like, they'll spend stuff on merch, or, like, they'll spend stuff, like, they'll spend money, like, going out and, like, having a good time somewhere. I don't do a lot of that stuff, like, obviously I have some merch, but I'm not like, a serial merch collector. I don't collect, like, a bunch of merch. I have, like, some, and then I'm fine with that. Mostly because I just don't have room for it. But even if I did have room for it, I'd be very controlled with how I, like, collect it. And I don't buy games all the time, either. Like, I rarely buy games. I mean, obviously, I buy games sometimes. But... there's a lot... Sorry, hold on. There's something on my desk. There's a lot of games I just don't care to get. Mostly because, like, I'm not as big of a gamer as I used to be. Like, I'm technically not even playing games, like, every day. Like, I used to be playing them every day, but I don't do it nowadays. Sometimes I'm content to just, like, sit here and watch stuff or, like, work on stuff instead. I think the closest I've come to, like, well, I say I'm not playing games every day. I am, because I'm doing gacha dailies, but I don't really consider doing my gacha dailies, like, playing games anymore. It technically is, though, so I guess I am playing games every day. But it's not really, like, sitting down to enjoy a game, like, every day. Because typically, I binge games. I'm a game binger, you know? Like, when I find a game that I enjoy, I like to sit down with it and have, like, several hours of enjoying it. So that'll be my evening, basically. Like, I'll settle into a game for an entire evening and just play it, like, non-stop. That's just how I roll. I can't, like... I usually can't dip into a game and, like, just play it for a short bit and then do something else. Because I get immersed. I have to get into the groove of it. And, you know, if it's a longer game, then that's all I'm going to be playing for the next, like, few days or something. Like, recently I picked up MechWarrior 5, and I played that for about 100 hours. I haven't played it in a few days, so I basically, like, finished everything that you can do in it. But I was playing it for like 100 hours, because I was like, yo, this is sick, I like this game. And I played that non-stop for like a few days. More than a few days, actually. I played it for like a week. But, yeah, that's why I don't play a lot of JRPGs nowadays. The last one I played, I think, big RPG game I played. I think the last one I played was... It wasn't Persona. No, it wasn't Persona 3 Reload. What was it? Well, I guess technically the last, like, JRPG style game I played was, Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. That was, like, earlier this year. I basically played that, like, for a week. Like, constantly. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't finish it. Here's the problem. Some JRPGs, a lot of the longer JRPGs, I just don't finish, and then I struggle to come back to them at a later point, because I need to get into that mindset again, where I'm going to be spending the next few days just playing it. And I really want to, most of the time, you know, like, for instance, like, Guardians of Azuma, I do want to finish that, but I got to a point where it's like, yeah, I'll take a break here, and that break is still ongoing. I have not returned to the game. So recently I picked up Trails in the Sky First Chapter, which is a remake of the first installments of the, what's it called? Legend of Heroes series. Because I really enjoyed the Trails of Cold Steel installments of that series, all 4 of them. Which I haven't finished those either. Like, I completed 1, 2, and I got almost to the end of 3, but I didn't touch 4. But, I do want to play Trails in the Sky at some point. I just don't know when, because I know it's going to be a long one. Hold on a minute. Are there, like... Hold on, I'll check after this battle. I need to check if there are, like, records that I need to, like, go through or something. Because we're just doing battles right now. Okay, we can stop there. Let me check if there's any, like, neural logs or anything. No, okay, so those are just battles. Okay. Well, let's just see how it goes, then. It's possible that this isn't, like, a substantial event at all. Like... Which might just be the case, like, this entire event in general just wasn't, like, that big a deal. Even though they try to make it a big deal. They really, like, compressed a bunch of stuff into this event, like Belka, Andrus, and Jiangyu all coming at the same time. But I think that was but they gave us, like, they gave us an increased rate for the resource gain that we get. Because they're catching us up with, like, the Chinese server. Like, they want to catch us up. Which is why I believe the next event after is going to be a Deep Oblivion, which I'm definitely going to stream, because Deep Oblivion is going to be wild. But I'm going to presume we'll be seeing stuff of that in the coming weeks, maybe. Alright, what's happened? Varjäger. It's always Varjägers. It's kind of crazy that these people are trying to thrive as a community in the yellow zones, which are basically, like, lawless, like, territories rife with, like, you know, irradiated mutants and violently aggressive bandits. And they don't have the wherewithal to arm themselves for security reasons. It's like, how have you guys survived until now? Especially with children in the midst, like, you want extra security to make sure the children are safe, right? Like, children in the yellow zone are sadly, most of the time, like, extra collateral. Of course there's a storm incoming, why wouldn't there be? It's alright, Jiangyu knows Kung Fu and she has lightning, she'll be fine. She's like Raiden, but a Kung Fu star instead of a cyborg ninja. So I'm going to predict that we're going to go rescue these children, but there's going to be some kind of twist and we fight a much bigger threat. But then we bring the children back safely and then we do the play, yada yada. Seems very cookie cutter of a story, but we'll see. I think we just got some stages to get through. Huh. We didn't even need to evacuate, we could have just left. I mean, we could have just killed everyone like we did. Eliminate the Aegis Swap Dominator. That's gonna be easy. There we go, there's my in. I come back to see GFL and their outfit design. Have you not seen some of the designs for the stuff in GFL? Oh, you're in for a treat, Scarlet. Because I have a lot of the skins, but I don't use a lot of the skins in the fights. Just because I like the default outfits a lot more most of the time. Let me show you some after this. Just so I can like distract you further from work. There's one thing that GFL has in their best interest. It's their skin game. The cosmetic game, should I say. Obviously, you've seen Jiangyu on my home screen. She's in an alternate outfit. They know their players love women. Yes, they do. It helps when it shows that the devs also love women. That we get stuff like that. Hi, Groza. I hope I don't get demonetized for this. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. Let me show you. Let me show you Belka, actually. Let me show you Belka's Halloween outfit, because she is ready for Halloween in a month's time. They really don't leave much to it. You seen some animations? Yeah. I have like a mocap team dedicated to this stuff, you know? It does not hide anything. And here's the moneymaker right here. Free camera mode. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Wait, does she actually track you when she looks at that? No, okay, she doesn't. I thought she does. I'm scared for you. This is probably the most scandalous stuff I've shown on stream so far. That's crazy to think about. Why are you holding a Groza, like, bobblehead? What's wrong with you? I think Niketa also... Yeah, Niketa also has a dangerous outfit. I don't understand some of these outfits. Like, this one in particular, I don't actually understand, like, what she's meant to be wearing. Jesus. But then, like, who's got a more, like, modest out? Shongzhu. Here. See... Yeah, because there's, like, certain parts of it that are well-rendered. See, this outfit is cool. Like, look how cool this outfit is on her. This, like, Dynasty Warriors tier outfit. And it has this cool animation as well. She's cool. Like, I really like her. I guess in the outfits it's just, yeah. It's the only one she can... I'm weak. We're all weak, Scarlet. I like... She appeared in GFL 1, and I didn't really care for her in GFL 1. GFL 2 came about, and I was like, okay, I see the appeal. I like her. This skin came out, and I was just like, I'm at a loss for words, man. Order me to the front lines of the battle. Cool women with dark long hair are a type that I like. Mood. She is certainly incredibly cool, and she has dark long hair. Look, she can solve a Rubik's Cube. Amazing. And she has really nice, she has really nice gloves. That's a home screen right there. I'll mess with that later. Is there anyone else that has a cool outfit? Jiangyu? What was her outfit? Oh yeah, she's got like a race outfit, whatever it is. I don't understand like a lot of the like... They call them like race queen outfits. They have like the racing stripes on them and stuff. But I don't actually know like how it relates to like racing, you know? I'm pretty sure I've never seen like any women with outfits like this near a racetrack. I think Springfield has some cool stuff. In her night dress. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Alright, yeah. I'm normal. Yeah, this is where the money goes, you know? This is where they invest. It just gets... So, GFL... There's gonna be an update coming soon, which lets you walk around the base. Like, basically we're in a mobile base, and they're gonna release an update soon that will just allow you to wander around it. Like, they're making an entire, like, 3D map for it and stuff. You can, like, go around and talk to, like... You can go around and talk to the dolls and, like, interact with them, do different activities. One of the things that they're going to add is called Pillow Talk, I'll leave the rest to your imagination, but that's definitely an anticipated feature. Oh yes, Sabrina. In her swimsuit. We love Sabrina. I mean, I really like Sabrina. Yes, you heard me. Pillow talk. In addition to additional levels of affection. They know what's important for their game. It just sacrifices the other gameplay elements for it. What could this mean? You know, they're just, you know. From what I've seen of it, it's, well, I won't go into details because I'm already jeopardizing my content as much as it is with just, Oh god, it's this anime. Do I actually dare play this? I don't think I want to. No, I'm not gonna do it. You see... I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Deshevnia, hi! I love you, you're adorable. We like a bit of WD-40. Alright. We're fine. Don't worry. I avoided the worst of it. Wait, what is your outfit? Oh, yeah. Maybe you can show me stuff off stream. You know what? Sure, we'll do that. I'm definitely not trying to test the limits of Twitch right now. Hold on, I need to actually check. Am I gonna get banned for this? It's in the game. The game is officially listed on Twitch. It should be fine. It's just part of the game. It's artistic nudity. That's allowed. It's not even nudity. It's like artistic half nudity. Anyway, let's get back to the event. I should finish it. I don't think the event's really going to be that entertaining. We're 76% through. What do you mean we're 76% through? Nothing is happening in this. What in the world? That's crazy. It's an essential gameplay element. It is. For some people, that is, like, the majority of the game, and I respect them for that, you know? Like, if that's what you desire in a game, and that's what you get out of it, then, like, more power to you, man. I've definitely played gacha games that are more scandalous in nature to this. Most of them are Korean. I'm gonna posit a guess that you know of Nikkei. Nikkei's another gacha game I sometimes come back to, because... It's pretty enjoyable in certain aspects. if that's how you could call it. It must be fun to work on a game like this, though. Oh, like, at 100%. I remember, for GFL2 specifically, I remember they did a tour of their, like, development studio and showed, like, where people work and what they do on the game and stuff. And I just remember they came to, like, the area where the team for 3D modeling is. And they were researching how to... Basically, they had this statue of a woman's leg on the desk. And it had fishnets on it. And they were testing how fishnets get ripped apart. Like, realistically. Because they wanted to integrate that into the design for, like, torn fishnets. Did you know that this game, they actually made a patent for, a I forgot what specifically it was, but it's like how tights, like, you know how, like, women, and sometimes men, I guess, would wear tights. They made a pattern for how that acts as, like, an overlay for the model, and when it's used as an overlay, it does stuff to, like, the mesh. Basically, they have a pattern for tights and other types of, like, leg wear causing skin dentation. Displacement map. That's the term I'm looking for, yeah. I was trying to... I had trouble coming up with the appropriate terminology because I just had anime thighs on my mind, because that's exactly what it's, like, pertaining to. Let it be known that MX is easily distracted by such things, even though I make it out that I don't let myself fall into that a lot of the time. I am, at the end of the day, a simple-minded individual. Monkey sees, monkey likes. You know? I find it funny. I find it really funny that my view count went up when I started showing off the stuff in the dormitory. We just like women, yes. So it's just what people wanted all along. They just wanted me to view 3D women in a dormitory. Is that really what we wanted? Yeah, I mean, I've seen games do far worse than this. I will say GFL 2 has really nice models. Like, it has some high fidelity models that really, like... how do I put this tastefully? They make very attractive models. Like, you have models with beautiful designs like you do in, like, Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. They have really nice models. Well, like, they reuse the base a lot, but, like, the details and stuff on the models are nice. But, you know, they're pretty. Like, they're meant to be, like, pretty, beautiful, etc. The ones in GFL 2 are designed for a specific purpose, and they do that purpose very well. I'm pretty sure, when I say everything, and I mean quote-unquote everything, is textured on these models. But obviously they have overlays to, like, hide some of the stuff, but, yeah. I was wondering why they didn't go with 3D models for the VN sections, but the VN portraits are super pretty too. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they use Live 2D for their portraits in the VN gallery as well. I think, I mean, the cinematic stuff I've seen from GFL 2 is good. Like, they do have some, like, CG cutscenes every now and again that are, like, very, like... They're quite expressive, but they're a bit few and far in between. Probably because they don't have a massive department for that. But I do like that the VN segments have the, like, live 2D stuff. It adds so much for characters that, like, I think it adds a lot when you have a character that actually, like, blinks. And I believe in some of the voice part, like, in events and story in this game where they have voices, the model is actually talking. It's the little, like, it seems like a lot just to have a live 2D rigging for, but, like, it does add a lot to these, like, VN sections than just having a sprite. Because, you know, you've got different levels of it for, like, VN presentation. You've got one level of it which is, like... You got one level of it which is just sprites. You know, just straight up sprites. That's probably, like, the bare minimum. That you just have a static sprite that represents the character. Then I'd say a level higher than that, which most people strive for, is having a sprite which has different expressions that it changes between. That's probably, like, the next stage up. And, you know, the more expressions you have, the better expressed a character can be. Surprise, surprise. Then above from that, you can add, like, animation flourish to it and stuff, so you can, like, animate the sprites to, like, convey emotions and movement. Like, moving them from side to side, like, vibrating them, like, spinning them around, like, that kind of stuff. And then I think after that, the next stage of progression is probably something like, well, no, actually, even before that, I think the next stage will probably be pose changes, like, having a sprite for a character, but their pose changes around. So they could have, like, an idle pose, but then, like, it changes to them, like, holding their arms out, or, like, you know, having a thoughtful posture with, like, their hand on their chin. Like, actual, like, redraws for, like, the different expressions. That's probably the next stage up. It's a lot more work, but it definitely makes something a lot more expressive. And then I think above that, you have live 2D stuff. This is probably the minimum for live 2D, just having blinking and mouth movement. Nikke does it differently. Nikke has fully animated live 2D models for their VN sections, as in they're constantly moving. It's a little weird. I don't know if I like it when sprites are constantly moving. It feels a little unnatural to me. Nikke does that. I swear there's a couple other games that do it like this. In 2D anyway. In 2D it looks weird. If it's 3D it's fine. And by 3D I'm referring to Uma Musume, for instance. Uma Musume has these VN segments, but it has the 3D models. And the 3D models are always animated, like, they're always moving. Even when they're just, like, idle and just standing there, like, they have very slight movement to indicate that, you know, they're alive. Like, I wouldn't say, like... No, I guess I would say, like, there's a subtle, like, breathing movement to them. In the VN sections for that. I really like the Uma stuff, though. I think the Uma Musume 3D VN stuff is, like, the peak of, like, storytelling I've seen in that medium. Specifically, like, 3D visual novel. Just because, like, the characters are incredibly... Like, the movements and stuff that they do with the models are very expressive in that game. And I love it. But yeah, like, that's just a little... That's just my experience with visual novels. I think 2D looks weird when it's constantly in motion, but small little motions like blinking and mouth movement, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Don't underestimate kids. It's just wild to me that Commander's considering the fact that these kids who got robbed by bandits are deciding they're gonna get this stuff back. I guess that's happened and stuff before, though, like... I mean, that is a story trope of, like, a game where... Not a game, but... A story where, like, you know... stuff gets stolen from, like, a settlement, and, like, some of the kids think they're hot shit, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna go get it back. Because the adults won't do anything, so it's down to us kids to do stuff, and then, you know... One or two things happens. One, they get captured, or, like, an intervention happens, and they get saved, and they have a valuable life experience, where they become inspired to become, like, heroes or something, or maybe they'll be more cautious in the future. Or they all die horribly. I like the latter because we don't see it as often. Yes, I want more stories where children are dying gruesomely. Don't clip that. Don't take that quote out of context. I probably should not be saying that on Twitch, but there's a lot of stuff for, like... I feel like there's a lot of storytelling, like, devices that people don't use because they're afraid of, like... they're afraid of offending someone. And I think there's a fine line between something that is so egregiously offensive that it's clear that you just shoehorned it in to be controversial. I think there's a fine line between something like that and something that is a bit of a touchy subject, but it makes sense to include it in the story, and it makes it interesting to put into the story. I think there's plenty of things that fall into the latter category that people kind of shy away from because they feel like it's going to offend someone, or they think it's going to be, like, tone deaf in, like, the current social climate. I'm one of those people that feels like I don't think we should be neutering our stories to support the social narrative, so to speak. I don't think the virtue signaling should, like, perpetuate through our stories. Because I think that just kind of, like, it kind of covers up. It covers up the, like, really nasty things that we're capable of in life. And I don't think covering that stuff up is really the way to go about it. Because the more you cover it up, the less aware people will become of it. And the less aware people are of it, the less they will recognize that they are bad things. Now, don't get me wrong, there's definitely some bad actors out there that will, like, take stuff from these, like, you know, or take those controversial points, and then they'll be like, yeah, this is my life now, like, I love slavery, I'm not... That was me quoting something, alright? I'm not actually saying that. I'm saying this for Twitch, alright? I'm not going to start iterating that again, but you know what I mean, right? I'm an evil person. I enjoy these actual evil things in a story. And people, like, someone will indulge in that media and be like, this is my way of living now. One, those people are not healthy people in society, alright? Like, they should not be taken as, like, the cautionary tale that everyone needs to abide by. They are definitely the exception that we just need to consider when we're doing these things. But they're not a reason to completely abstain from it, because, like, these types of touchy subjects, I think they can work very well in stories as long as we use them in a way that doesn't glorify them, you know? And I think that's the problem. I think the problem is that people believe that inclusion of anything controversial in their stories is basically inviting criticism that it's like, oh, you're glorifying it, because you just, through the mere mention of it in the story, you're glorifying it. Which I don't think is the case. It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of the changes they made to Dungeons & Dragons regarding the orcs and the drow. Which I still find really dumb, by the way. They basically, like, because originally the orcs and the drow had very specific, like, identities as species in D&D. Because, you know, they're evil races. Like, they're evil races, and, like, there's certain, like, ways that they were. And I'm not completely against it, because obviously, like, people saw it and wanted to make better ideas off of it. But I don't think, like, the way they went about it was, like, the best that they could have done. I think, like, they could have kept, like, the... Whoops, I clicked out the window. I think they could have kept the overall, like, evil narrative for these races, and, but also made them more inviting for, like, players to, like, play around with. But, I don't know. I feel like, I think they took a step back too far with how they, like, reinvented them, so to speak. All because of, like, certain people kind of, like, blowing stuff out of proportion with how they connect culturally and stuff. I don't really want to get into it, because it's probably gonna, like, I mean, no one's, like, there's not a lot of people here, right? Like, I mean, I've got, like, 4 viewers on Twitch. I don't know how many I've got on YouTube, but if there's anyone, like, in the future watching this, I don't want to potentially, like, tick someone off wrongly by, speaking out of ignorance. This is just my opinion on stuff, so... It's funny how I say I don't want to offend people, rather than making a point about authors should not be afraid of offending people with their story beats, you know? It's important to recognize the bad things that exist in our world through stories. Exactly! Like, I think, Because I think there's a lot of bad things in our world that make for interesting plot devices in stories. Not just because they're bad things, but also because it gives you a point of, like, it gives you a point of reference for how bad things are, like, in that context. And the true horror of, like, what could happen if it's in this different context. As a writer myself, that's an interesting, like, writing exercise for me. Is taking things like that and making them work in a fictional context. Because at the end of the day, it's fiction. It's there where it's meant to, like, it's meant to entertain people, it's meant to bring people into another world, and give them, like, that immersive experience. I'm not gonna say everyone wants, like, tragedy and, like, genocide and, like, slavery and all the other, like, really bad, insensitive stuff in their stories. There's definitely a lot of people that do not want that, hence, like, the outcry and stuff. But you don't have to engage with those stories if that's what, like, if not offends you, if that's what hurts you. Because I know a lot of people genuinely get hurt by that stuff because of personal experiences or general empathy, but you don't have to engage with that stuff then, you know? My problem is when people go out of their way to make sure that this stuff just doesn't exist. And I think that's probably the worst way you can go about anything. It's when you have a problem with something even existing, and you decide that it's going to now be your agenda to make sure that if you can't ensure that if you can't ensure its non-existence, you're just gonna pester other people because of that fact. It is ultimately up to choice. And I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't realize they have so much freedom of choice when they don't really exhibit that choice. Like, people are always going to be screaming about free speech and stuff, but they don't realize that they're kind of just, like, they're kind of just falling back on that as an excuse because they can't really free themselves from that way of thinking. It sounds kind of arrogant when I put it like that, you know? Like, it sounds really arrogant when I go, like, oh, you know, people just think like this and think like that. But as someone that just sits on the sidelines of social media half the time, I don't think I'm wrong. I think the sort of stuff can apply to teaching history too. Yeah, exactly. Like, when you're teaching history to people, it's really important to teach it in a way that really highlights as many sides to it as you can. And letting people... the most important thing about teaching history is letting people come to their own conclusion. Like, obviously, like, I'm not about to say, like, it is bad when it's taught selectively, exactly. Because it creates a bias. It's like, it's literally like, it's like imagine if in like history lessons we're being taught about World War II, and they were teaching us history where it's just like, oh, we were the good guys, like the British, the Americans, we all worked together to take down the Nazis. They were the bad guys, we were the good guys, blah blah blah. Like, that's how history went. So I'm glad that when I was in school and learned about World War II, that was not the case. We learned about Nazi Germany. Well, here, I learned more about Britain, obviously, because I'm from Britain. I learned all about Britain during the war. It wasn't, like, obviously I learned some of the stuff of, like, glorifying, like, the heroic stuff that we did in the war, and, like, how we were, like, the so-called underdog and stuff. But I also looked at the side of it where it's just like, yeah, but we kind of invited that onto ourselves because we were arrogant. And also, it was because of the inaction of one of our people that World War II kind of started. It was kind of our fault. That's what we learned in school. I was like, wow, my country sucks. But that's a good thing, right? Like, obviously we learned how bad Germany was, but we also learned how bad my own bloody country was in that thing. And that's the important thing. I learned both sides of the thing, and I've learned not everything is black and white. There isn't just a good guy or a bad guy in this kind of stuff. There's not just a good side of the story and a bad side of the story. Sometimes, like, it's all grey, and you just kind of have to figure out the pieces for yourself. It's why I just get disappointed when I see people just taking one side of an argument and just making it their entire livelihood to stick with it. I wish history had taught my country enough to prevent what is currently happening. My heart goes out to all the people in America that are, like, suffering big time right now. Just because of the awfulness of the status quo. Like, it's not good. I'm not gonna dip into politics. I want to stay as far away from politics as I can with this content. But just know that it really sucks. Like, for a lot of people right now. America especially. And sadly, Britain's not far behind, because we're kind of following America's example, and I don't like that. But I'm just a silly guy on the internet. I'm just a silly guy on the internet that might get demonetized for showing Chinese 3D titties on stream. I have been progressing through the story, by the way. The reason I'm not really commenting on it is because nothing's really happening. 3D. I mean, I'm definitely always going to be a champion for 2D. I mean, technically, like... when we're talking about, like, 3D models, like, the 3D models of characters in this game, it falls under the purview of 2D. Like, when you're talking about the 2D versus 3D argument. I'm still king for 2D. There's nothing inherently wrong with 3D, but I find significantly less things in 3D attractive. Wow, I sound like a freaking, like, closet weeb right now. I mean, not a closet weeb, but I mean, like, a weeb who lives in a closet right now. That's what I sound like. Talking about the 3D versus 2D. What am I on about? But I mean, look at her. She's so pretty. This is the kind of prettiness you cannot achieve in real life. She's so good. I love Jiangyu. So, we wouldn't have 3D anime games as they are today if it weren't for 2D. Exactly! 3D anime and 2D anime, they are one and the same. One is just an evolution of the other. That reminds me, like... I don't know if I'm alone in this sentiment, or whether it's like a widespread thing, but... Twin Tails, right? I freaking love Twin Tails. Like, Twin Tails are like my favorite, like, style of hair for, like, women. Like, Twin Tails... I go crazy for Twin Tails. I go absolutely feral for them. I don't show it all the time, but, like... Twin Tails are, like, massive for me. Like... If a woman, like... Okay, not accurate. If you get a character that doesn't usually have twin tails, and you put them into twin tails, I go nuts. If a character just has twin tails, I go nuts. Hell, if a character that usually has twin tails decides to, like, you know, untie her hair, I still go nuts, because it's like, oh, the character with twin tails is going for something new. That still gets me riled up. I love it. But hear me out, right? I think twin tails in real life are way less cute. I don't know why. But, like, I don't find Twin Tails IRL, like, anywhere near as attractive as they do in, like, a 2D environment. I think it, like, obviously, I'm not a woman, so I don't know. Like, I don't really know, like, if there's, like, logistics around it, but, like, I'll take your word for it that it's just kind of hard to pull it off in real life. I think there's, like, a presentation that anime characters have with their hair that makes it just kind of work in that medium. But in real life, hair doesn't behave like that, so it kind of just looks not very good. Or, rather than not looking very good, it kind of, like... it gives off a certain vibe that I don't like, you know? Easy to put your head into twin tails, but I think it should match the outfit. Yeah, exactly. I think that, like, there's not a lot of outfits that it does match in real life. It also depends on what kind of twin tails you have, because there's, like, different styles. Because you got, like, you know, you got, like, the long, like, thin twin tails, kind of like, I mean, for lack of a better example, I guess Hestia from Danmachi, she has, like, these long, thin twin tails, like, the, like, thin, like, strands of hair. I don't really think that works much in life unless you're, like, younger, I guess, like, wearing a school uniform or something, but then it's weird in real life. Like, I don't have a thing for, like, school uniforms in real life. I think that's weird. Like, I kind of understand why people would be attracted to them, but, like, you know, school, it, like, equals, like, young. I don't like that. Like, I don't really attribute to that. Tosca Rin. Oh. I love Rin. I mean, that goes without saying, right? Like, I love Tosca Rin. She's great. But yeah, like, Rin has, like, a curlier hair, doesn't she? Like, she has, like, naturally, like, curly hair. In a way. And I think that could work for twin tails in real life, like, just having, like, natural curls. I think it works better if you have, like, really fluffy hair as well. Also, like, people don't have hair this length in real life often, you know? Like, look at Jiangyu's hair. It's really long. Like, it goes, like, her hair is going beyond her butt. Like, that's long by, like, normal people standards. And, you know, the big reason a lot of people don't have their hair this length is because it's impractical. Like, you don't usually let your hair get to this length because it's impractical to do so. Like, it gets in the way of things, it's hard to maintain properly, like, that's a lot of hair that you have to, like, maintain on a regular basis and keep it healthy and stuff. Like, that's a lot of, like, time and, well, not time, but, well, yes, there's a lot of time and commitment to keep that hair healthy and luscious. How do you use the toilet with that? Exactly. But Jiangyu's a doll. She's an android. She doesn't need to worry about that. Her hair doesn't grow. Like, her hair is synthetic. Of course it can do that. She doesn't need to worry about going to the loo. I would cry if I dunked my hair in the world. That sounds awful. Can you imagine, like, you're getting up in the morning for your, like, I don't know if it's a thing for other people, but the first thing I do when I wake up is go to the toilet. Because, you know, I've just had a long sleep, like, get it out of my system. I can just imagine, like, first thing you do after you wake up, you go to the toilet and you forget to, like, tuck away your hair when your hair is that long. That would be the worst feeling in the world. But also, like, I've kind of seen people operate with, like, this length of hair before as well. They'll either tie it up, like, they'll just, like, tie it up lazily, or they'll just carry it. I've seen people, like, carry their hair before. Yeah, I mean, even I know that, because I've had longish hair before. Like, I've grown out my hair quite a bit in the past. And that shit is really hard to, like, keep all, like, together. Because I used to wear hair buns, right? I used to just, like, clump all my hair together and, like, put a headband around it. Just to keep... It wasn't, not for style, just to keep it, like, out of my eyes, because, like, I do a lot of work which involves me tilting my head down, and my hair kept getting in my eyes, so I had to, like, tie it up. But, like, even that length of hair for me was, like, high maintenance. That's why I cut it eventually, because, like, I don't like this. Well, I can't live with this. The longest I've had is down to my waist. See, that's, like... See, that's long, like, but... I think that's, like, traditionally long. Like, that's really long hair, but, like, I think a lot of people traditionally would have it down to their waist if they wanted long hair, you know? And, you know, it's not like it's all bad things. Like, there's good things about it as well. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with hair that length. So, like, you can style it in a bunch of ways. And, you know, when you do take care of it, it can look really good. Because, like, hair is, like, I think, like, I mean, the head has, like, all the most important features for, like, attractiveness, in my opinion. And eyes and hair are, like, a big part of that. Like, I will say that I have a personal preference for longer hair. Like, I do like longer hair on women. But am I gonna, like, make it a deal breaker in a lot of cases? No, because I understand that, like, having shorter hair can be a lot more comfortable for some people. And sometimes short hair can be really attractive too. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, hair is weird. Maybe I should shave my head. Yeah, that's the conclusion I'm gonna come to. Maybe I should shave my head. No, I don't think I would. I don't think I'll do that until I'm at least, like, 50 or something. I should probably get mine cut soon, because it's getting kind of long. The thing is, my hair's, like, not the type that grows long, like, quickly. It grows thick. I think having thick hair is, like, worse than having hair that just grows long, if that makes sense. Because thick hair is such a pain to, like, maintain properly. Because it knots up all the time, like... It's like a pain in the ass to brush in the morning sometimes. And when I don't clean it, it, like, feels, like, really greasy and horrible, and I don't like that. Usually tie up my hair similar to Mau Mau. Oh, I know exactly what you mean, yeah. I like Mau Mau. I like Apothecary Diaries. Great series. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though. Like, I mean, yeah, like... I don't think there's any reason to really style your hair in any way unless you're, like, going out somewhere, you know? Like, if you're going out in public and you want to look good, then, yeah, do up your hair. But, like, if you're just at home, or you're just, like, you know, going for a casual outing to, like, the grocery store, if you're going to work, just do whatever's most comfortable. Like, it's not like you're trying, like, you don't have to impress anyone. But I also get it when people are like, I want to dress to impress myself. Because I've definitely done that before. There's times where I'm, like, going out somewhere, and it's not like I'm dressing for an occasion, but it's like, I don't want to, like, sometimes when I go out to places, I don't just want to wear a t-shirt, you know, like, a lot of the time I do just wear, like, an anime t-shirt or something, because that's what I'm most comfortable in. But sometimes, like, I want to look a bit better. I want to be like, oh, maybe I'll actually wear something proper today. So I'll, like, put on a shirt. Like, I'll put on, like, a proper shirt, and then maybe, like, bring with it, like a blazer or something. But that's for myself more than anything. That's just, like, I'm not going around trying to impress people with how I look. I'm just doing it so, like, I can feel like, yeah, I can look good for myself. There's nothing wrong with that. It's why I'm always just like, in your wardrobe, you should have at least one, like, smart outfit, you know? Like, my wardrobe is, like, 90%, like, shorts and, like, anime t-shirts. And, like, silly socks. But I've got one section of the wardrobe that is reserved for, like, those occasions when I want to feel a bit smarter, or I have to dress smart. Because I've been to things in the past where I have to dress smart. And, you know, it feels pretty good sometimes when I go out like that. In fact, in a few weeks' time, I'm going to the horse races. And, of course, with British horse races, you do have to dress up to an extent. So, dressing up is what I shall do. Well, when I say dress up, I'm not, like, playing around dressing up. I mean, dressing smart. Like, I'm going to go to the races, and I'm going to look the part. Maybe that's part of me becoming an adult. Because I feel like male fashion is like... Not even male fashion. I feel like gentleman's fashion is like a very like mature thing for like men, you know? Like, if you're young and you're into gentleman fashion, I think it's kind of like a niche interest, but as you grow older, it becomes more of a normal thing. I can't really speak for women because, one, I'm not well versed with feminine culture, but two, like, as far as I know, like, women have... There's a lot more women that care about fashion than there are men. I do wish men had more variety in formal wear, though. Yeah, like, it is pretty restrictive in some cases. I guess I don't see a problem with it because that's not how I usually dress up in the first place. So, to me, it's out of the familiar, and that's what makes it okay for me, because it doesn't feel like it's constraining. I feel like they're missing out somehow. I think that's subjective. Because, like, for some of us, like, there's a lot of things that I find cool in an outfit. And I think there is a lot you can do with, like, what we, like, are given, so to speak, in terms of formal wear. There's, like, little details that matter for us. But I guess that's prevalent in any kind of fashion. The best way is to probably mix around the colors. Yeah, color-wise, it definitely is a case of, like... oh, there's just a dude over here? What the fuck, man? What are you doing? Come here. Yeah, because formal wear for men, it usually is, like, darker or plainer colors, isn't it? Like, grays and browns and blues. Like, you don't really go outside of that. If you wear, like, white... Or if you wear, like, predominantly, like, white or, like, red and stuff, like, then you, like, stand out and people will probably call you eccentric. But I also have, like... I have kind of a natural, like... Like, the browns and the greys and the blacks and the blues, like, with, like, the formal outfits, I kind of really dig those as well, though. I'm very much like... I love contemporary designs, right? Like... I like, I mean... I like designs where, like, they're predominantly kind of like a neutral color, but then you have highlights that are like, you have accents that are like a much more vibrant color against that kind of like neutral, like, majority. But then again, I also enjoy, like, really flashy, flamboyant designs as well, so I guess I just have an open mind for this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that I like. She's teaching the children martial arts. There you go, that's what you need. You don't need to teach them how to travel through the wasteland safely. You need to teach them martial arts to defend themselves. That's how you do it. See, that's the gist of the story. Don't give people health and safety lectures. Teach them kung fu. The end. That's the story. Wow, so engaging. But yes, fashion designers for men's formal wear should take inspiration from gacha game designers, 100%. I think unironically, I think the male fashion scenes in Asia are way bigger than that of the West. Because I think in the West, like, especially in, like, the Commonwealths and Europe, there's already, like, this predisposition to how men should look on, like, a higher fashion level. And that's just kind of embedded into society's DNA. But it feels like in Asia, they're a lot more explorative. And I think that comes down to the fact that, a lot of places in Asia had, like, that kind of, like, flamboyance was just kind of part of being an elite in their, like, histories. Because I think it comes down to like having like the higher classes in society over the course of history, and how they transformed going forward into the present day in these different cultures. But yeah, like I feel like because when I look at like fashion sites from like Japan or China or Korea, I always see like so much like crap on there that looks really good. But also, I look at it and I'm just like, man, that's some fancy clothes. But it looks really good. It's nothing compared to what you would get in, like, Britain, for instance. But then, I'm not big on fashion, so I don't know. Maybe there is a big Western presence for it. I mean, we have, like, a global fashion show, like, every year. So there must be, like, something for the men in that, right? Is that it? That's it. Cool. Alright. I might as well have just put just chatting on this stream because that's basically what it was. This event was kind of... Okay, so we finished the event. Nothing happened. Nothing ever happened, though. That was lame. That was not worth the wait. So basically, I enjoyed the first two parts because they actually explored a bunch about Belka and Andorus, and I found that quite endearing because I got to know those characters a bit more. This part didn't really do anything. Like, this part was just like, this is Jiangyu, she likes Kung Fu. Fight a bunch of enemies. The end. Nothing fucking happened in this. I could have just done this in my own time. Doesn't mean I regret streaming this, because it gave me an excuse to ramble about random crap for like 2 hours, which I'm perfectly fine with. But that's literally all there is to it. That was the Interstice of Reminiscence event. Overall, this is a big filler event. Not very good. I mean, I say not very good. It was okay, but that last part was kind of killed the momentum, and I just kind of hope this is the predecessor to something much bigger, which I'm going to suspect that it is, but I'm gonna hold my peace on that. I'm just gonna go in and buy your stuff now. Bunch of stuff, should I say? Let's buy the battle cores next. There we go. Alright. Yeah, that's me done with GFL for today. Yeah, this wasn't a long stream, this was a short stream. It feels a lot longer, but I feel like when I ramble on, the streams naturally just feel a lot longer. But I think that's a good thing, because I don't think every stream should be like a 5 or 6 hour thing. That's the perfect way to, like, burn yourself out. I mean, I could do something else on stream as well, but I can't really think of anything right now, so I might just chill out for, like, the rest of the evening. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun having you here as well. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it there for now and then do some work after this. Oh, we got a voyage stuff, huh? Let me just clear that out. But yeah, hopefully the next event's gonna be better. I don't know when I'll stream again. Because we just had the Limbus company stuff. And GFL's probably not gonna have anything for a while. Uma doesn't really have much at the moment, I don't know. So it might be a while before the next stream. But you know, maybe I'll just hit people up for a hangout at some point. Or maybe we'll just vibe in the Discord or something. Do some casual things, not a proper stream or anything like that. Because I feel like I don't want to do any, like, big proper, like, series. I don't want to, like, start a game on stream right now because of the aforementioned, like, changes I have in store and stuff. I don't want to start anything big until that comes around. Which is unfortunate because there's stuff that I do want to do. Like, there's, like, games that I've wanted to stream, but I don't feel comfortable streaming them right now. I want to wait until I'm in, like, a better position for it. But it also means I'm missing my timings and a lot of stuff as well, like, playing stuff when it comes out, when I could be, like, playing it sooner. But, you know, it is what it is. But eventually we're going to get around to some stuff, and it's going to be fun for everyone, hopefully. But yes, I will, what's the word? I will abscond for now. Oh, yeah. We will close things up for now. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's been a nice... I guess it was a chill time. It was a nice chill time. Disappointed end to the event, but I got to ramble, so it's fine. Maybe I'll do a just chatting stream at some point, because chatting's fun. But, yeah, until then, I'm not going to flash the end card. I don't really see a point in doing that. So, yeah, until next time, I will see you around. Good night, and have a good one. Oh, and good luck with work, Scarlet. Anytime, anytime.